Okay. Bedtime in our household is a late time in our household.
Because he's blooming homemade kids.
Maddie doesn't go to bed.
She's watching Lord of the Rings after this.
Lord of the Rings? Game of Thrones.
I mean, sorry, Game of Thrones.
They're different things.
What's that?
Completely different things.
Completely different things. So I need to go on here, don't I, so I can see our live feed.
Oh, that's weird.
Oh,
it's happening after we've said.
Beautiful girl.
There you go. So if I put that over there, and then I put that over there. Hello, everyone.
How are
Evening,
we all?
Ashley. Hello from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Don't
Sorry,
shout,
why am I
We've only
shouting?
just started. We're already shouting.
What is wrong with me,
Hi,
Maddie?
Cole. Hi, Vicky. Hi, Rennie.
Hi, Elaine.
Hi, Laura.
Hi, Sherry.
Hi,
Oh my
Elaine.
God, do you guys do this?
Kathy, Sherry,
Hi,
just a
Sasha.
couple.
Do we do
So
one?
welcome. We are excited about our new series,
Can I just say?
The Cry.
This time last week, we were watching The Bodyguard.
And I was
Bodyguard.
losing my bloody mind.
Maddie,
Bodyguard, I want to see the Bodyguard.
Rennie McKeel, literal shout out.
I really like the
Maddie
dude.
wants to watch Bodyguard because you like him in Game
She
of Thrones.
fancies, what's his name?
You
I don't
fancy him?
fancy him. I think he's attractive.
You know, he
He's
was in the
different
gym
thing.
opposite Loose Women the other day.
Was he?
Yeah, because Lee, our warm-up guy, was working out beside him and he was beside himself.
Someone just said you suit blonde hair.
People keep telling me that.
Who was it who said
None
that?
of my
Doesn't.
family
I
like
wouldn't
it.
Westy
have
kid.
dark hair.
They all hate it.
Yeah, okay, so we've just watched The Cry starring Jenna Coleman. Can I just say, I went into this not thinking I'd like Jenna Coleman because I hated
didn't think
Victoria.
I would. I was really angry about her being cast in Victoria because I think so much of what made Queen Victoria who she was the fact that she couldn't rely on her looks and that she was, and to cast somebody so exquisitely beautiful to me was just, but that wasn't her fault, was it?
I agree.
So we shouldn't have judged her.
Arthur Mitchell, thanks for that. He liked our response to Holmes and Watson.
Oh.
Yeah.
Bless you.
but
Yes,
she was
I
a
agree.
delight.
I agree. I thought she,
First frame.
I thought from the first frame.
Yeah.
That's what Mum just
That's
said.
exactly what I just said.
Yeah. The husband is annoying them. Someone said, "Who's that? Marie Claire's World." The husband is annoying.
Yeah,
in the
annoying him
Cry.
because he's vile. He's vile. He was a good actor, but he was a
What?
vile
He's not
character.
Is he vile?
The husband?
Well, he's manipulative and,
Oh my
and
God,
controlling.
he took her to the house where
Yeah,
he
that
had
was
his
horrible.
wife and his child and had sex and didn't care.
Yes.
He did it so that they would walk in on him.
Yeah.
He's not a
He
bad
slept.
person,
You
though.
can. He's a terrible person.
Yeah.
No, he made
First
a
of all-
mistake.
He made a mistake. He did admit it though.
He is a horrible person. To stick your earplugs in
Right, I'm gonna-
in a 30-hour flight when your wife is clearly, utterly distraught.
People
and
are complaining.
postnatal.
Auto transmitter, thanks for flagging that up. People are already complaining about the time jumps. Right, I'm going to say from the get-go, in the first 3 minutes, we jump cut from 4 different time
Loved
scales
it.
between her walking out of certain places. I thought, thank God, in modern television, they're willing to experiment a little bit. I thought
Anyone turn the TV down every time the baby cried.
Yeah.
Was a bit
very
much.
true. I
But
really
loved
like
that.
I really like that, and I thought it set us up for something that was going to be a bit challenging to keep up with. But I didn't think it was at all confusing. This show, I thought it was quite rich the way they kept jumping forward and jumping back,
Yeah.
so that we were.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
loved it.
at first I was a bit like, is it working? Because there
Yeah.
is a lot and I'm kind of lost as to whereabouts we are.
Yes.
But then it was fine. I thought you can tell by how tired she looks and stuff.
Yes.
I think it was kind of good because that disorientation that you get when you have such terrible sleep deprivation. I mean, I was
Yeah.
reminded of a flight we did to Argentina with Maddie when she was like 14 months
My
old,
God.
and it was
I
just
so
hell. She
related to that
danced
because
the
I was
whole way.
I was wide awake for the entire trip, trying to comfort her.
Shut up.
He was
Yeah,
fast
asleep.
asleep. But anyway, it's an interesting point though about the crime because I know that when I've done shows like in hospitals and stuff, and when babies cry, they can see that how many people turned it off, immediately turned the tape off. So that's a good point. I'll be interested to see if that affects viewing figures.
Sandy, you haven't missed any episodes. It was the first one tonight.
Yeah, first one tonight. But the pre-titles, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to love it. We all were, weren't we? We were like, oh, this is going to be good. The editing's good. She was great.
We've gone a bit fuzzy apparently.
Our connection's
Look.
bad.
Yeah.
Oh.
We need to talk to
Check we're on the right.
BT. Yeah, we are. We're on the right.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, you're very blurry, bit pixelated, Mark. Is that pixelated? That's a bit annoying, isn't it? Because this is going to stay.
It's not that bad. It's getting better.
Is it getting better?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it doesn't look that bad. Oh yeah, no, it is. Oh, there it's coming. It's
There we
coming.
go.
Is that better? It's better now. Clear. That's because I blew a kiss. We blow another kiss.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
it's even better. There you go. The air stewardess behaviour was not believable. Okay, we're picking holes if we're homing in on the air stewardess, because I think the rest... Oh, Christ, I've just made everything go away. Because I think people would offer support. Yeah, I liked it when the woman offered support. But before all of that, I was just finding that I liked all the jump cutting, and I thought it worked really... I thought the idea of this flashbacking and flash forwarding thing worked really well. And there were little clues just dropped in, like you got that immediate poster in the crowd, Justice for Noah, which I thought, clearly threw up the whole Madeleine McCann potential of the situation.
I thought of Madeleine McCann's parents many times actually through it.
And also we had an incident...
People want to look at you. She said, people want to look at you. They want to see what's the worst thing that can happen, and they want to look at you and see what that looks like.
I love that two faces, as the two faces of the person.
And if I'm honest, whenever I've been in the studios, say years ago when I used to work on Lorraine and other morning programmes, there is a kind of real... It's maybe not really the right word, but there's an electricity on those days when people have been in, like the McCanns or Jamie Bolger's mum or the other boy, what's the boy in Greece, when they've come into the studios, because it is the most imaginable thing, isn't it, that your child is taken from you or murdered. So that really resonated with me. Have you ever told the
story of when you thought I went missing?
I was just about to say, we had the most traumatic experience where one night we had a situation where a window had been left open and we couldn't find Maddie in the morning. And we went into an immediate and quite rapid... and it was in the aftermath of Madeleine McCann, wasn't it?
Madeleine McCann was still lost, and every front page said Maddie, 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 Maddie. And I was pregnant with Kiki, and Maddie had a real routine that she would come in, talk to her, go downstairs and play with her toys. Anyway, I came down about 5 minutes after she'd come down, and she wasn't at the table where she always played, and the back window was completely wide open, and it had just been when we were just getting all the reports about how that man they thought had come in the window. And do you remember the photo fit picture of him carrying Madeleine McCann?
That's right.
And I completely and utterly lost it. I was screaming my head off. Mark was running around.
I ran out into the street to the bus stop in my trunks, in my boxer shorts, screaming at people, have you seen a child come out of here? Because I didn't know where she was.
I went into the garden and I was like, I just can't, this can't happen, this can't happen.
Nadia was standing in the garden. She was 7 months pregnant with Kiki, and I remember looking at her stomach. I remember this terrible thought going through my head. We're going to lose this baby as well as having lost Maddie.
Well, because I did think I was going to lose.
That's what I thought. It was so
dramatic. It was the worst experience of
I was just
our life.
under my bed.
Nothing will ever be as bad as again. My parents, my sister came running from next door. Everyone was looking everywhere. And the thing was, because she'd heard me scream, she'd got worried and she was hiding under her
She thought she was
cot.
in trouble, so she'd been hiding under her bed.
Oh
and
my
Dina,
God.
your sister, came in and said, she's upstairs.
So basically, we had about 3 minutes of the agony of losing a child, and you wouldn't, my God, you wouldn't wish it on the worst enemy.
Inconceivably the worst bottomless pit in your stomach. So I thought this, a lot of people are saying they didn't like the flashing backwards and forwards. I found the flashing back and forwards was a really strong way of disorientating us as viewers, so that we could be in the same place as her, in a sense, at the end of the episode. I mean, obviously they're playing with our expectations as to who's culpable, who's responsible. I felt that you felt that the mother of the husband's first child, that there could be some degree of culpability there.
But the trouble is, it's too obvious. And when she went in to get the fish and chips, when she went in to get the fish and chips, and she said, "I think I'll eat here," and she was a bit panicked. So she's going to eat here, so she's got an alibi.
I agree, actually.
But when she took the big key, she had mud in all her fingernails. And the camera made a point of lingering on that for a split second. So it just seemed the clues were given to us too obviously.
Connie thinks it's the stepdaughter.
No.
I don't know if I agree.
She's too far away and she's with her now.
Do you know what? On my initial...
Go on, Maddie.
I was going to point out a comment that came up ages ago, but I didn't get to see who asked it, but somebody said, What did you think of her reaction when she found out that the baby went missing?
Yeah.
I think it was a classic
I thought
person
it was
in shock.
I thought it was very well observed. I thought it would be very. This is my problem with a lot of not BBC, a lot of TV dramas, is they go for the obvious characterisation. So of course, your child goes missing. The most natural response you'd think directorially or as a performer is, ah, you go mad. And I think actually no. More often than not, it's the complete reverse.
What was that very famous case with the woman in Australia whose baby was taken by the dingoes, and
yeah.
she was actually found guilty, wasn't she? Because people didn't think that she reacted in a way that.
And I also think there's a
would.
terrible situation
Shock
here where
behaves-
people make massive judgments on how people react, whether it be a reaction to, I don't know, suicide, death, all sorts of things. Everyone has a right to react in the way that they react, and you can't legislate for reaction. And I thought that was a really well observed. I thought it was a very bold, very brave reaction of her looking and not looking. And obviously,
and
it
also,
served the
of course,
purpose of
she
making us
could
suspicious.
have taken the baby and done something with the baby
Exactly.
and have no awareness that she's done it. If she was in deep postnatal, it was another brilliantly sad case. Oh God, it must be 10 years ago when an English woman, she was in America, she gave birth to the baby died, she tucked it into her coat and she came through, tried to leave the country with the dead baby under her coat. Clearly mentally unwell and distraught. And nobody knew she was pregnant. The Americans threw her in jail in a Category A prison.
Wow.
And she had terrible postnatal depression. Who would think they could smuggle a baby under a coat? It's clearly, So I think I'm still thinking it's her at this time.
You think it's Jenna Coleman?
Yeah, I still think it's Jenna Coleman, but I think that where I am at the moment is I don't think she knows that it's her.
She herself doesn't know
Yeah.
it's her herself.
Yeah.
So she's having such an out-of-body experience about the whole
Yeah.
thing. She's
Yeah.
unaware.
Yeah.
I think you could be right. I mean, obviously, they're sowing all the beautiful seeds of kind of evidence. So her mother died when she herself was 15. It made me think about how awful that would be if that happened. And postnatal depression. I mean, it's a real thing, isn't it? I mean, I mean.
Oh, and the more extreme case, not postnatal, but I can't think what it's called now. Postpartum psychosis, which is literally the poor woman who goes through it is literally in a living hell. Like you can do all sorts of things and not even be aware you've done it. So I'm going to be still sticking with Jenna Coleman.
Todd the bunny, who I think is often on the money. Do you see what I did there? She only went into the shop a few seconds after her husband. How would she have time? How would she have time, and what would she have done with it? Popped it in a dustbin? Why wouldn't it be crying?
Maybe she did it earlier.
See, I think all these questions. I think
when he was on the phone.
Oh, I see. Oh, I see.
He could have been driving for ages without the baby.
Oh, so it might have happened
So
when they
because-
stopped. They pulled over,
Because
and
I hadn't
she
been
was.
crying for ages.
He could have
That's
just
right.
opened up the boot and seen that it was
There was the
missing
collapsed house that she looked
Yeah.
at, wasn't there? The collapsed house when the bushfire warning had happened.
Yeah.
I felt she was looking at her own life, that was like...
I think I was curious about this, Marieke Van Essen. I thought lots of people are going to go absolutely hysterical about her leaving her child in the car for 1 second. I mean,
No.
she did pop it. Yeah, but this is the Madeleine McCann thing, isn't it? At what point is it permissible to leave your kids or not leave your kids? People will fall on you like a ton of bricks and judge you. So I see. This is what I like about this episode already. I thought it did a brilliant. There's only 4 episodes in the series. I thought it did a brilliant job of throwing out all these possibles, which will leave us all guessing all week. I'll be thinking about that for the rest of this week. And Bodyguard didn't. Bodyguard just frustrated me. I mean, they're not exactly the same. I get that, but it just frustrated me. I just
What
didn't
did you
care.
think, Maddie, being so young and having no sort of knowledge of parenthood or anything? What did you think of it?
I found it really stressful, actually.
Did you?
Did
mean,
you?
I don't really
Yeah, you
like-
did. You had your head under a pillow.
Yeah, I don't
Really?
really like,
Yes, you
I
did.
don't really like children. And babies really, really annoy me.
Right.
So how was the
I felt
crying?
her frustration.
Yeah.
So did you
And
find the
like-
airplane bit frustrating?
Yeah, but I was panicking. You know, when she went into the bathroom with the baby, I'm like, what if she like drops it in the toilet? I was something
Yeah.
like that, so it was really making me stressy. But
Yes.
yeah, so I don't know. I mean, it's kind of hard. It's a bit like when we saw the Tully film.
Yeah.
It's kind of
I know what you mean. Yeah.
making me not want a child even more.
Really? I thought, and of course, the series is called The Cry, and obviously it's the cry of the baby. But he asked that really chilling question at the end when they're about to go on television, I presume for appeal.
Are you
Do you
gonna
think
cry?
you might cry? And is he asking her because you think he wants her to,
Yeah.
in order to get press and
I
publicity?
don't... Yeah. Well, maybe not press for publicity,
No,
but
maybe
maybe.
he's just asking.
I think a bit of that. I think he's scurrilous, and we're going to see a real devil come out in him. Look at the way. Right. Okay. If you don't think he's vile, look at the way he is planning to go and take his daughter from her mother in Australia.
Yeah.
And he has no feelings about that whatsoever.
Yeah.
Well, because
she's
she was
drinking
taken
heavily.
From him.
Yeah, but look what he did. He had a woman in the bed when she
Yeah,
came
but
home
like
from
he said,
swimming.
the marriage was already.
Yeah,
like,
but that's what
over.
people say, Maddie. They lie.
Well, here's the thing. You see, as much as she could have put the baby in that collapsed house when they'd stopped, so could he.
No, he was on
Maybe
the phone.
he's working in cahoots with his ex-wife. Maybe
No,
he's working
that's
in
ridiculous.
cahoots. No, he couldn't be working in cahoots with his
No.
daughter because his daughter wasn't interested in coming. Anyway,
Exactly, Vicky Penny. There is
What's that?
something about that husband that is not right.
could it just be that he's a typical husband, i.e. he puts earbuds in and doesn't help with the baby?
Yeah, I mean, it was a bit like. Sorry to keep
Well, like
bringing
you in
Tully
Argentina.
All right.
Sorry to keep bringing Tully up, but it's
Yeah.
kind of similar. Like
That's the film
he
with,
wasn't
what's the
a
name of the
bad-
actress in that?
Charlize
Charlize Theron,
Like
yeah.
he wasn't a bad.
Yeah, he wasn't a bad
person,
husband, no.
But he was playing his Xbox every night instead of helping
Yes.
the baby. So I think it's just like a guy thing that
Yeah.
they just tend to not.
This guy
Uh,
is a dirty dog. Trust me, we're going to
Well, he
see
was
more and
nice.
more revealed. Trust me.
yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah, and I think the ex-wife is too obvious. I think the
Dawn, maybe I
stepdaughter...
need to watch the right bloody programme next week. I wonder what you were watching.
I mean, there aren't many choices, though, are there, of who it could have been? There aren't many. Unlike Bodyguard, it could have been anyone.
Postpartum psychosis.
What do you mean when you say that? What's that mean?
That's the most extreme kind of postnatal depression.
So you
where
think she's
done it and she doesn't even know she's done it. Two faces.
Do you think she might have eaten it
Oh, don't be so silly.
in
Dad.
a baguette?
Don't be silly.
What the
Anyway, we will be watching it week in, week
Yeah.
out. We think it's brilliant, and I hope that they can keep it up
And
as good as it is.
do we need to see Maniac? A lot of people are contacting us and say we have to watch Maniac, which is the Emma Stone series on Netflix, and I'm feeling that we should at some point. So,
Leave a comment.
what would you do if Mark went to sleep with an eye mask and earbuds on? I mean, that never happened when we had children. I mean, it never. I was
He
constantly
used
up.
to do this brilliant thing, like, so they'd cry and he'd go, like he's so shocked. You'd go, I'd go, he'd go,
When?
what is it? What is it? I'd
When?
go, it's Maddie, she's awake. And he'd go, and lie down and go back to sleep.
Oh, Dad. You
Oh,
did yourself
Dad.
dirty.
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
Dad.
All
Anyway,
right.
please hit the subscribe button
Yeah,
and the
thanks,
notification
guys.
bell. I was round at my mum's today and she said, I never see any of your YouTube stuff. We looked at her account and she hadn't pressed the notification bell.
Yeah, press
so
the bell.
YouTube will not tell you when we've done a
Press
new
the
film.
bell. I think that's what happened to you, Ashley, when you were getting notified.
We've started our family weekend vlogging. Yesterday that started, so every weekend we'll be doing that. So go and check that out.
Yeah, there's another one going out later tonight.
Yeah, a special extra treat.
Yeah, with Nadia's dad and mum being really silly.
Yes.
Yeah.
And his mum. being
And,
extra
well,
silly.
she's always silly.
Bye,
All right, my
all.
darling.
Sleep
Toffee's
well.
still growling in
Have a
her
lovely
cage.
Monday.
Toffee is still growling in her cage. Yeah, she is. She's nuts. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Can't wait to
It's
see
nice
this next
having
week.
you with us.
Yeah.